I
Yeah, we're
I just heard y'all were talking about the MCU, so I was
yeah, yeah.
We're just low key trashing on it, bro.
Yeah, bro. We were just kind of trashing on like the obvious, like
Like the direction
emphasizing.
it's going so
It's the
far
it's the
into
over
Exactly,
it's
it.
the
and it's on.
oversaturation
Yeah.
of like political correctness. I don't need that in fucking a superhero movie, bro. Stick to the script. That's the way I look at it, at least. Like,
yeah, it's weird. It definitely appeals to a certain audience, so I
oh
guess I
yeah,
can see why they
absolutely.
do it, but
I see
it
that.
is pretty annoying to
Like,
niggas who just want
Okay.
to watch superhero
She-Hulk,
Like
movies.
I turned off really quickly. Like, I understand she's supposed to be a strong character. I mean, she's She-Hulk, but I don't need like the political correctness stuff like that. It's not necessary to me. Like, just make her a badass
Yeah.
villain, a badass character that beats up bad guys,
I did
dominates.
love them,
That's
the
it.
Daredevil in her moment. That shit was cool.
That was
That
clean.
was fire.
Yeah.
in my
Like, I don't need to
opinion.
see
Yeah,
her
that was
twerking with fucking Megan the Stallion, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck.
That shit
Like,
was heat.
That shit was huge.
A little bit crazy. No, I
Yeah.
get what you mean though.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
just
the MCU sort of forgot where it got its fans from originally.
exactly.
Just
Yeah.
nerds. Like
Yeah, we're just nerds that
I
just
want
want
to see Captain America and fucking Winter Soldier fights.
Oh,
type
dude.
shit.
Oh, that shit was so
Exactly.
fun. That's what I'm saying. Like that's it was so good, dude. Before,
Dude,
And
that,
then,
that
like,
was the golden era of MCU.
Winter
Yeah.
Soldier, Captain America. Yeah, it's the second movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that movie was just oh my.
I call it like
God,
the
this
Robert
movie-
Downey Jr. era. That was the golden years.
I think people generally overhype like the other phases of the MCU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like especially when comparing it to like Phase 4 and whatnot. Like Phase 1 and 2 are not better than Phase 4 at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think they're not as like climactic as Phase 4. I think that's where things really
But
started.
they were different at the time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
They were different, special, and everything was connected, so they had a purpose. Now those movies don't really have purpose in the MCU. They don't really get talked about or brought
Right.
up, and the characters that were there, they're not there anymore. And they're like, since it's a new saga, they're building different characters to be important, and no one wants to sit through it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Just-
brother.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
just it's like
I do like Kang. I do like him kind of getting in the mix of it because he is he's a really cool fucking villain, especially if you know the comics lore, etc., and you name it, or the animated films. He's really interesting, but it's kind of weird to a degree. I don't know how you feel about it as well, Six and Jay and everyone. But like, it's weird because then again, Kang interacted with the main Avenger crew. And I mean, it wasn't with like this new like building like the next Avengers type setting to interact with the Avengers' main hardcore villains. Like
Yeah.
that's what's the more confusing element for me too. Especially if you know of the comics or the animated films, and
Yeah.
you name it, etc.
Also-
It's just
Absolutely,
weird.
bro.
By the way,
Yeah,
folks,
I feel you on
Six
that.
is in here, so if you have any questions for him, make sure to ask him. He is in here, so appreciate that. I love
The goat.
I love the Justice League Dark movies. Oh, those are heat, man. The animated movies, yes, I think they're pretty good.
But Six, what's your thoughts on Hulk? Like his whole development in the MCU, and then the Gore the Butcher thing, shit, the Thor movie. Like, did you thought that shit was this
I
trash?
don't know. I hate Hulk in general. So, when he got done, when he was like being a bitch in the MCU,
Yeah.
I didn't care 'cause I never liked him.
See, yes,
Yeah,
you do
facts,
agree.
bro.
Yeah.
Nothing relevant
He
stuff
peaked.
like that,
He
bro.
peaked in Avengers 1, bro. That's where he peaked.
That's
Uh,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not like, bro.
He peaked
Even
in
better.
well, no, actually, I think he peaked in Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
For
not
sure.
like
For
it
sure.
was. It's not like it was
Fair.
gradually building up to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Him being good in Ragnarok, he just happened to be
no.
good there, and that's
Yeah.
it.
He had like his key moments, and it had a lot of comical value. But see, like what pisses me off with Ragnarok, that was kind of like a bootleg tease of Planet Hulk.
I was
You
kind
know,
of
I don't
hoping
know
it
if you
was
guys- I don't
that.
know if you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
are-
I've read
I
that
don't know if
comic.
you
Yeah.
guys are aware of that crazy goated story from the
Oh,
comics
dude.
and animated films too. But like the whole thing with that is, the fucking because Hulk was so dangerous, so powerful, whatever. They're like, all right, we just need to cast him
Like,
out.
we need to
The
nerf him.
Illuminati-
Yeah.
Yeah, the Illuminati were like, we need to get rid of him, which that consisted of like Iron Man, et cetera, et cetera. You name it. And so they got rid of Hulk. They set him on a planet. Shit happened, whatever. He thought it was the Illuminati that did it. So then he goes back to Earth and has like a whole world
Dude,
of planet Earth.
that comic
And
book
it's
was
just
Crazy, man.
that comic book
You know
was
what I mean?
really
Like-
was really goated. Yeah, I really enjoyed that
And I
story.
thought it was going to kind of go in that direction because that's kind of what it did. It did it in Ultron movie where it sent him off away. Like they were like, oh, yeah, this is our perfect opportunity to get rid of the Hulk now, whatever type
Yeah.
shit. And they do that, and then we get all of that, and it's like, what? Like, okay,
Yeah.
So.
But as far as
I don't know, man.
DC, I do think their animated movies are pretty good. They probably have the upper
Right.
hand compared to Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that.
Absolutely.
The Justice League
The
Dark
more
movies,
dark
I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the
I haven't watched those in a long time.
Yeah.
Same
like,
here,
just
bro.
like DC animated movies in general. I just
Yeah.
remember enjoying
It's
them a
all
lot.
on HBO.
Yeah, a few months ago, I went on like an HBO Max binge, and I rewatched
Yeah,
like,
HBO Max.
yeah, like
Go to
Justice
They're on
League.
HBO Max.
Yeah,
That's
most of
what
them are on there. Yeah,
Go to,
Yeah, bro.
if you download Amazon on like your console, whatever you have, like you just get Amazon, then you just scroll down and click HBO Max. You can just do it from
dude,
there.
the one where it's like a rated R version. It was Apocalypse, I think, where fucking Batman gets controlled by Darkseid. That was so cold.
Yeah, it's
That
where
was
like
heat, man.
Darkseid wins and beats everybody.
Yeah, like Damian Wayne has to go like
That sounds
unbrainwash his fucking father and stuff. That was pretty cool. I actually really like that one.
Yeah.
I did not know they were on HBO Max. I'm actually gonna watch
Yeah,
them
it
now.
has
Yeah,
all
they
the
like added
movies,
all of them, like even the old stuff, like from
all
way back
the
in the day.
movies, all
Justice
the
League
old
Unlimited,
movies.
Justice League Animated, yeah, it's all there.
Well, I
You
only
wanna-
used HBO Max for fucking Game of Thrones, so I don't know. I just
Dude, they have
know.
that shit on Hulu now, bro. Just watch it.
I've
there,
been
bro.
watching The Last of Us. That's all on HBO Max. But
I started watching that too. I'm only in the second episode. I've only finished.
I mean, I played the game like
first
1,000 times, but the TV
I
show's
still
good.
haven't seen Game of Thrones, to be honest.
Me either. I need to see
Game
that.
of
The Last of
Thrones
Us
is
is really
fucking
good, though, bro.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So like when people say Game of Thrones is bad, and since y'all haven't seen it, I won't spoil you. Right?
Yeah.
People, like
Please,
you've had
please.
the opinion like Game of Thrones gets bad. Like you had to have heard.
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
What Game of Thrones gets bad, but the acting performances stay the same like the whole show. Like they're just consistently peak acting performances. So
Okay.
you don't really notice it unless you're like studying this shit.
Oh right, yeah. You're like overanalyzing it. Yeah.
Well, I feel like oftentimes like shows like when they're like beyond, I'm assuming Game of Thrones is like 7, 8 seasons at least, right? Or probably 10.
I
Wait,
think
say that again.
So Game of Thrones is at least like what, 8 seasons, 10 seasons, perhaps, something like that.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
think
what I
watched
heard.
sequence.
it's 8. It's 8. It's 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, oftentimes I see like banger shows, like come out hot in the beginning, and oftentimes they're in a rush to end production or something happens of that sort, and so they rush the production value or even acting in some instances. So I mean, it does happen. So I think that might be the common opinion about Game of Thrones in that regard as
Yeah.
well.
I've
you know?
heard that, but I've heard a lot of positive reception as well. Like it's fucking good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
overwhelmingly
Yeah,
so.
I
Yeah.
mean, like the source material and shit is all good. Like A Song of Ice and Fire, the book series it is based on, all that shit is good. So all the stuff that like Game of Thrones was before, when it was just adapting that, everyone loves.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I definitely gotta start watching. I don't know why I've never
The
got around
Last
to
of
it.
Us is heat right now.
Oh,
too.
dude, The
I heard
Last
that-
of
I heard
Us
there's
is
a lot of
fucking
sex in Game of
heat.
Thrones, though.
That's I've heard that as well.
Yeah, there's tons of sex scenes you can.
Yeah, I heard that it's like crazy.
so
It's like
funny.
Witcher 3 type shit or whatever.
Dude, The
Um,
Witcher is dope, bro.
I need to check that
Yeah,
out
it's
as
good.
well. Let's see. DC's better in general for me. I mean, to each their own. Yeah. To
They
be
both
honest,
have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking like in the cinematic right now, then no.
cinematic,
I would
no.
Definitely
Yeah,
give
no,
that to
no.
MCU. I'm sorry.
TBH, Gore carried Love and Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
But that's just Christian Bale.
Yeah, he's a legend. Yeah. Let's see. So we have other questions. By the way, folks, feel free to ask any questions. And we'll answer. I do have like pre-live scene questions that we still haven't answered.
That Thor movie, bro. I can't get over it.
Dog
Oh
shit.
yeah,
movie.
yeah. But the Thor shit, like 6. What was your thoughts on that movie? Because it was just so like
Love and
I
Thunder?
enjoyed it. Yeah,
Love and
I
Thunder.
liked it and it was really good. But like I feel like it could have been so much better though. That was my problem.
Fuck
Wow,
that
that's-
shitty ass.
Shit
Yeah,
was
I like
ass.
that.
Everyone thinks that movie's dog shit.
That
Yeah.
was so bad, bro.
Unless you're like a
Bro,
fucking.
I walked out the theater
Damn, you
when Thor Love and Thunder released, and I loved it. I loved Thor Love and Thunder the first time I saw it.
Oh really?
Then I watched it again, and I was like, "Damn, this is like the worst fucking movie." Like, I don't think it's worse than Dark World at all.
You know those
Oh,
are
no.
those dog shit. The other Thor ones, horrible.
Dark World was terrible too. Yeah.
Like
Fucking-
it's definitely better than Thor 1 and 2, but Ragnarok
I
shits all
enjoyed
over
it because of the Gore, the God, the Butcher, whatever. That was the reason why I enjoyed the aspects
Oh,
of
he
it.
carried,
why I
yeah.
liked it. But when the reason why I didn't like it and I wasn't a fan is because when you analyze that character as well, he was just written completely way better in the fucking comics. Like it was just goated story, right? Like he was even goated for Thor. Like he had some crazy ass shit that he did in there. To the
Yeah.
point where like it took like the future Thor and another Thor, all three of them to fight the God Butcher, whatever dude. in order to even win against him, because that's how fucking strong he was. Because he has like the Necro Sword, which is the of Null, who's like the symbiote god and shit of darkness.
Yeah.
He can like kill Celestials.
Yeah,
Which they tease that
you-
they tease that in the MCU because they
Yeah.
show the head of that Celestial where it's in like nowhere, and that was Null was the one that cut his fucking head off.
yeah.
And shit with the sword.
Most of the
So-
time, the general case is that the comic books are more thorough than obviously the cinematic like real life interpretations. But
Any source material is really.
yeah, and it's
I'm
usually
just saying,
watered.
it's
It's
not
usually
like
watered
writing
down
the
as
novel
well.
better.
It's watered down to like fit into like 2 hours. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
See what the questions are. Soul Calibur or Tekken? I'm not familiar with
Oh,
Soul.
Tekken for me, bro, all day, dog.
I'm not familiar with
love
Soul Calibur,
Tekken.
but I do
I
like
hate
Tekken.
fighting games. I'm not good at them.
Monica Alvarez versus Sydney Sweeney. I don't know who Monica Alvarez is, but
I
see-
played Tekken since the PlayStation 1, bro. Like, that was throwback,
Yeah.
dog.
Injustice 1 and 2. Oh, was a god.
oh
my
yeah,
God.
dude.
I was
Injustice
good
2, I had like a broken Batman. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see here. So this is a question before the live stream. This is Bleach. Dangai Ichigo versus current Ichigo, anime only. So my
I haven't
take.
gone that far for Bleach.
Yeah, my take is this. Again, I haven't read the manga and I haven't read the data books yet. So for my limited knowledge, I would say that what it seems like is that current Ichigo seems to have like some sort of untapped potential. You kind of see glimpses of it when he fights Ewok in the anime. And I just don't think he's reached his past powers when he fought Final Form Aizen. So I would probably deduce that he probably doesn't beat that version of himself yet, from what I can currently like extrapolate just from the anime. So I would say he probably loses to Dangai Ichigo. Definitely probably final Getsuka Chencho Ichigo as well. So I would say.
Jetsu mode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. It's also important
Yeah.
to say that Ichigo was quite mentally amped. He was in quite a precarious situation. You know, the whole Soul Society was being massacred, and
Yeah, he's
Even,
definitely mentally amped as well. Yeah.
so I mean, but to say that he's on that point of his past prowess is it's hard to.
Yeah, and also
really say
Ewok
for
like
sure.
Ewok doesn't say he's weaker than Aizen, but he sees him like as a threat. I think he says something like, "If I face you, it's gonna take too long to kill you" or something. And Dangai Ichigo was like casually whipping his ass. So I just
Yeah,
don't.
facts.
Yeah. So from what I do know, it seems like Dangai Ichigo's stronger.
No matter what, though, Naruto slams Bleach.
Yeah, that's $1 million question people still talk to about this day.
Yeah, Naruto beat the fuck out Bleach.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Six already knows why I'm throwing that jab in.
Yeah.
Man, be fucking pissing him off on Twitter, bro. Shit's so funny.
Can Sasuke win in the tuning exams in Boruto? If Sasuke was a kid, you mean, in the tuning exams?
Interesting question.
Hard
Kid
to-
Sasuke in the Boruto tuning exams?
yeah, like if he was kid Sasuke was thrown into that exams, how would he do? I think he's asking.
Sarada and fucking Boruto would probably beat the dog shit out
Yeah,
of him.
that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just way more.
Their
above,
feats are
like,
just more, yeah. The feats in general are just more
Mitsuki
impressive.
too, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Mitsuki, like, what the fuck?
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mitsuki's dope,
Unfortunately,
bro, yeah.
there's like
that one Angara's like adopted son and all that, like to where Michigan was about to go Sage Mount on him and he stopped. Like they were just in a whole other class.
unfortunately,
like, way more
the empirical feats are just much better. There's obviously a power cliff, and just these young kids are fucking slapping the kids of the past. Unfortunately,
Gotta make them relevant somehow, right?
yeah,
So,
they want to
yeah.
be relevant. They're gonna have to scale to some degree to like the top threats and stuff like that.
That's the same Boruto that also clapped Momoshiki, by the way.
Yeah, he was able to use a massive Rasengan that his father gave
Taking
him.
it a little too far, bro. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, like when he had like his father and son Kamehameha moment, with fucking Naruto and shit. But
Yeah, that's still impressive. Yeah, but let's see here. Any questions, folks? Any at all you have? There should be no reason why
Like-
Boruto is over here fighting
tuning exam
gods.
Sasuke, like I would never see that man like replicating like the vanishing rising on feet on Momoshiki or doing that what he did with like fucking Naruto and shit. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I would just never do that.
There should be no reason why Boruto is over here fighting gods at the age of 13. I mean, you got a point, but